This is Franz Cantor, toon talker, cartoonist and illustrator. And I am here with
Jim Bridges, and I'm the president of the Australian Cartoon Museum.
Great, and this is welcome to Book Bites, the ACM Book Bites, where we review a book from the library of the ACM. This is a book called The Art of Harvey Kurtzman. This is his signature, Kurtzman. He has a little drawing of a man. And he's called the mad genius of comics, and this incredible book is created by Denis and Paul Buhle, introduction by Harry Shearer, and published by Abrams. And let's get started. There he is, yeah.
Trying to write, obviously, on an old typewriter, and there are a couple of his thought balloons.
So, yeah, having a lend of the 1950s writer's trope. Now, Harvey is known for this incredible elastic ability of the cartoon characters and these beautiful, zany, simplistic expressions. They're simplistic, but they're extremely expressive. So let's get into him. This is a rough of his cover of Mad. I forget which version it is, but you can see there's very little change from the energy that he applies to this first sketch to the final. Here's again.
Well, there are all the things he's done.
Two-Fisted Tales, Mad Magazine,
Help,
Humbug,
Frontline Combat, Trump. He did Trump?
Yeah, not Donald.
Oh, look at that, atmospheric.
Yeah, very incredibly talented man. This is
it's a pretty good caricature of Victor Buhle.
Yeah, Penny Arcade, Playland, Preface. So the book goes into his early days, the earliest years of Kurtzman, and his exploration. This is from the mid-1940s. So his earliest explorations into the zany world of cartoon. And where was this done? Harvey Kurtzman, 1940. These are woodcuts, actually, which he did in high school.
HK.
Yeah. Some life drawing. So it's pretty complete, this book.
War stuff. It's wonderful. What you can do.
1943 to 45. Racy illustrations, probably unpublished, except it says here. Black Venus. So there's some of his earlier. You know, the 1940s. This is particularly. This is typical of 1940s sort of layout for comics, but still has this energy. See the brush strokes here, which are untypical of 1940s. This is very sort of ugly, I guess you'd call it in 1940s, but it speaks of the energy that's waiting to break through, and you'll see it break through. Over here, it's starting to come through now. I mean, look at these poses here. This is incredible. Boys hiking, circa to late 1940s. So you can see the energy here is starting to seep through. It's incredible. You know, I mean, this, I can't tell you how much joy it brings looking at this stuff. It's amazing.
You're in the army now.
It's a good Yiddish boy. 1943,
my appearance,
1944.
getting ready for Saturday inspection.
So his early stuff, his war comics, some incredible, powerful cartoons. Look at the fun. A normal day at Chas W.M. Harvey Studio. Look at the fun they have here. You know, and these are probably greats, cartoon greats. They're all like, is that Wally Wood? Is that?
No, he's too old. He's too old.
You know?
Wally Wood was a youngster.
Yeah.
When the blokes were in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, so this is, oh no, John Severin. There's a few people there. That kind of looks like Dr. Seuss. Look at the energy in this. This is 1943 to 46. Look at the energy, the simplicity, the graphic simplicity, the exploration. He's not afraid to use graphic design. He's not afraid to simplify, to distill the idea in its most critical essences without, elaboration, without elaboration. No need to elaborate. You get to cut to the quick, get to the idea quickly. This chapter here is called Hey Look. Harvey Kurtzman I was aware of by looking at old editions of the 1950s Mad magazine as I was growing up, an avid reader of Mad. The first time that the genius of this man struck me was with this particular cartoon here called Hey Look, where he breaks the fourth wall of comics, which is really unknown. And you can't really see it as sort of an ode to, a man in nature and sort of enjoying the reflective qualities of the mountain lake. And the mountain lake, of course, is so reflective that his word balloons, the tail of his word balloons, is reflected in the mountain lake water itself. So there is an indication of and also it's ice. But there's an indication that tail of the word balloon shouldn't be there, but it is because of Harvey Kurtzman. Harvey Kurtzman broke the fourth wall. This is a nudge in my ribs from Harvey Kurtzman. So this, of course, is Hey Look, whereas it was an incredibly powerful vehicle for him to explore the zaniness of cartoons, in as much as you could do in a comic. This is like, they let him go, basically. They let him do what he wanted to do in Hey Look. This is in the 1940s, 1948 actually. So I would say when was who's the
50 BC comics you're talking?
No, the animator Tex Avery. He was in the late 40s, early 50s.
Yes, yeah.
So he again was pushing the envelope as far as the zaniness and what you could and couldn't do with these wonderful cartoons. Of course,
sight gags and use of colour,
and putting himself in the picture. The cartoonist in the picture,
leaning outside of the picture.
Yeah. So this is 1948. This is a visual pun.
He's looking at
breaking the fourth wall.
There's a finger paint set right outside the page, and I don't think we'll be able to reach it.
Yeah, he's trying to reach behind the border of the page. So, I mean, incredibly expressive. There is so much joy here, so much fun to be had in a Harvey Kurtzman comic. I mean, even these stupid runs and bounces that he has.
The little twisty
and these
nail puzzle.
Yeah.
And then he goes absolutely...
Nothing had been seen before in the realm of comics. Nothing. So, I mean, the character gets so uptight that he physically breaks up. So if you compare this to Tex Avery, you'll get an inkling of what can be done, both in comics and, of course, in animation.
Taken to the extreme.
Absolutely, yeah. But there's no, there are no breaks. There are no breaks on a Harvey Kurtzman idea, Harvey Kurtzman cartoon. He'll just let it go.
It's just nice. Obviously, someone important.
A self-portrait, Harvey Kurtzman as a Valentine's Day cherub. And of course,
he's struck out, as they say in America, quite a few times.
Yeah, this is Adele, his wife, or his then girlfriend.
Now
So-
you can be the editor.
Yeah, just draw in what you want in your own comic. In your comic, you do the work, folks. I'm just going to sit back and relax.
Very aware of the reader.
So all of his correspondences are illustrated. Whenever he can, he can't stop being funny. He can't stop being funny, and great influence to Will Elder and all of the greats of the time.
Sending up
Blondie, yeah. So a lot of the Mad magazine itself was sending up Blondie, sending up comics. pigtails. Look at the bent world.
Look
the
how
bent
look the tree
perspective.
goes all the way down
Yes,
to
to
the
planet Earth. Yeah, that's. Yeah. The guy trying to kiss his girlfriend over the phone. So perfect for advertising and public service announcements, of course. You know, they kind of lend themselves to that because there's so much energy involved. They're so vibrant.
They've got to get so much information through that by you go here and you know.
Yeah, so it's
they've got so much
exposition with
information.
gags.
Yes.
You know, and the gags are in the expressions. You know, I mean, these guys are smiling. When he gets over here, it's sort of like a half-lidded smile. Look at the energy involved in this. It's just amazing. So here we go. Harvey rewrites History in Pictures, Chapter 2. This is from Frontline Combat. Now, this we'll just jump through the ads and the layouts. Look how complete this is. Beautiful. The pencils for the comics.
Well,
This is his artwork for his War Tales. So you can see again, you know, there's a beautiful the layouts have so much energy. And who does the end? Artist Reed Crandall took certain liberties in interpretation of Kurtzman's layout. So these are the layouts, but they're beautifully done. Beautifully done.
and that's
Jack Davis.
Yeah, but that's Harvey, and that's Adele during their
Yep.
early days.
Yeah.
Dueling.
Frontline Combat again.
Well, he's doing his own stuff here.
Yeah.
Doing
These
covers.
are his own covers.
And they're sort of
Totally different to anything
Yes.
anyone else was doing.
yes, because all the other, you know, they had to be real. They had to be
Yeah.
to get the war is
This
real.
is Harvey's
and yet-
layout.
and the cover's cartoony.
This is the end result.
Dan
That's Flash
Barry.
Gordon.
Dan Barry.
Dan Barry. Yeah. But, I mean, the choice, look at that. It's just so much more powerful than Dan Barry. No offense to Dan Barry, but that was amazing. That layout's amazing. This is on the frontispiece again. This beautiful panorama. May Queen. College life. Two-fisted tails. See a lot of the layout and
guys
whiteout that's been put
Getting
in.
blown up.
Yeah. I'm going to get into some extremely flexible, dramatic, and
Well,
because
this
he
is
can
Korea.
bend
This
things
is-
like putty, he can bend these characters, these cartoon characters, to create them into extremely strong graphics. So that's what he used to tell these stories that were riveting, these stories of war, frontline combat. And of course, you can't get any more powerful in frontline combat than this tale called Corpse on the Imjin, which is a story from the Korean War where a soldier suddenly is reflecting on these corpses that are floating down the Imjin River. And of course, he then he gets surprised by a North Korean, and
And they
they
fight.
have a fight.
over the gun.
Yeah, they have a fight.
The desperation, the life and death struggle
Yeah,
in their face.
yeah. But look at the tension, the action and the tension that's involved in this, you know? I mean, there's no tension, there's no realism here. It's just pure action, pure energy. And then the energy, you look at the pacing of this where he has to drown the enemy.
And look at the head, and then pushes the head right down,
Yeah,
and the hands go up.
yeah. And then there's quiet, and then the body floats up and just becomes
This is
another body floating down the engine. So it's a beautiful story, very powerful, very evocative. There's obviously the Energy and Mad magazine. This is a very, very quick layout, but look at the amount of liberty that he's taken here.
I'd say he's
with
one of
these
the
characters.
fastest guns in the West. I think he draws fast.
He is, but it's not so much the speed that's important with Harvey. It's the it's the fact that when he finished his work, rather than Will Elder or somebody else doing it, he didn't stop. He just let himself go.
Yeah.
So this is very simplistic and non. It's not real, but it's extremely potent in the fact that it's like an unbridled comic, cartoon. It's a cartoon without any restrictions. There's no restrictions.
I think he has the qualities of caricaturing and animation in the one drawing.
Yeah, unbelievably powerful combination. The humor is just incredible. It's like it's packed in every square inch of the cartoons, of the covers. These covers, in particular, the Mad covers from the 50s, were exceptional. So this is 1954. So yeah, there's the drawing, there's the color version. Tales calculated to drive you mad. This is one of the first cartoons that I've ever seen of Harvey Kurtzman, which riveted in my imagination how much fun you can have with a cartoon. Yeah, so 1954, this was the era of Basil Wolverton, of course, Mad Magazine, humor in a jugular vein, only 10 cents. So, he was able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, this man. He had incredible propensity for letting the imagination lead the idea. This is a draw your own Mad cover. Look, gang, another surprise in this issue. You draw the cover. It's incredible. It's this is this a Mad? This is another Mad cover. This is his art direction. This is his design on these things. There's Mad where instead of the whole cover taking up the copy and the image, it's reduced to a postage stamp. So all of this, nothing had been ever seen before. That's why Mad had become this powerhouse, this incredible, powerful humor comic in the 50s. And it's all due to Harvey Kurtzman's energy and thinking outside the square.
How about that?
The ability for a cartoonist to think outside the square when they can is an incredibly powerful...
Extraordinary, simple...
Yeah, these are his layouts.
And this is the comic.
And this is where it ends. Yeah. Yeah. Super Duper Man, of course, is the send-up of Superman. All of the different tropes. I think from memory, this is...
Is it Mr. Dollman? Oh, that's Shazam.
That's Shazam.
Yeah, who's sending up the other one.
Yeah. That's Super Duper Man, I think, made another appearance in Not Brandech. Because they didn't copyright Super Duper Man. It was a send-up. Great story. Yeah.
That's actually him.
Yeah. Think. Yeah. So again, every excuse to play, even on covers, every excuse to play. Never let go of your sense of humor.
Yeah, Thomas Nast.
And always use your sense of humor.
Is he behind? Is he behind this too? You reckon?
This is the spring issue of Mad. The spring issue of Mad. So it's a pun, visual pun.
The characters.
Yeah. This is like visual shorthand for him to be able to get into the comic later, but keep it fresh, not draw tight from the beginning, but allow happy accidents to occur.
3D, isn't it?
Probably 3 dimensions. Yeah. Well, it's probably it would be his version of 3 dimensions.
Well, he's forever breaking. Like here, a touch here. It even smells like paper. He's sending up all the sort of stuff they used to scratch a card.
Well, they didn't invent it then. They probably looked at that and said, you know what, that's a really good idea.
And he's a 2-headed kid.
Yeah, the 3D kid.
Yeah, and here's the the tearing up the comic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
But look at this one. Yeah. If you want eye strain. Look at the clarity of the picture below, the fine details of the faces. Proof positive that 3D causes no eye strain. There you go.
and this is
Yeah, here's a comic actually broken. Page actually broken. So talk about breaking the third wall.
Did the spirit go
The
as
fourth
far
wall.
as this? Did the spirit?
Not
Did
as
Eisner
far
go
as
as
this.
far as that?
Not into the panels or underneath the pages. No.
Okay. Trump. This is not a paid advertisement, by the way.
No. Trump as in the card. It's another humour magazine.
Humbug, the end of the world is coming.
Yeah. This is a great magazine. I don't know very much about Humbug actually, but Humbug had a big impact on Crumb's Future Underground comics.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful stuff. A lot of work for some great artists and graphic designers as well.
Looks like a New York.
Yeah. These are
Looks like a New Yorker
Harvey's graphics
cover, doesn't it?
Yeah. New Yorker, absolutely. Well, they would have had they would have seen Humbug.
Well,
they would have seen
he's
Humbug
done some covers.
for the New Yorker.
Blatchman has done some covers for the New Yorker, but I'm just saying that they actually had the same cover all the time. Remember?
Yeah.
And then they changed.
Yeah. Wow. Look at this.
Go.
Hieronymus Bosch beat concept.
Marley's Ghost.
Yeah. So these are roughs for the
Dickens's
Dickens
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. So here you go with, the generosity of expression with the poses and the background characters.
Yeah,
amazing.
the storytelling ability is incredible because the walk.
Yeah.
He frames the walk, and you get the use of the walk as part of the character.
Yeah, but it's more Scrooge than Scrooge.
Yes. And of course, there's that.
And you can also show horror quite effectively, very effectively. So, these are beautiful. These are really beautiful. Rough, yes. Crude, yes. But what do they have? They've got, it's pure love, pure cartoons, pure the joy of.
Well, he's telling a story.
Yeah, but the joy of
This
of
is a trick.
cartoon.
He's like dragging all the books behind him in the chains. Ooh, bit of grunt here.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they're
Superior.
really cool. This is a perfect example of his style of humor. Never underestimate
Great
him.
visual
He'll
gag.
take you by surprise when you least expect it. Yeah. Western tropes. Brilliant. Grasshopper and the Ant, which is Aesop's fable, or Aesop's fable.
Who was a satirist?
Beautifully done.
Who was a satirist?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the exaggerated poses. He's must be a great influence, and probably this book too, to the cartoons of today, like
Well, they're also sending up the Disney cartoon, aren't they?
look at this, the double take. It's incredible. This is a beautiful story.
He's a great storyteller.
He is, but you know what he puts into the value that he puts into the stories are his energy, and that we can always be.
Well, I mean,
grateful for.
that's an extraordinary drawing because he's giving everybody totally different expressions.
Yeah,
People are bored, they're rapt.
amazing.
Guys are, checking out the
Yeah,
girls.
and everyone's different.
Yep. All that energy.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
taken him? How long would it have taken him to do that? A day, 2 days?
I don't know.
It's fantastic. This is him channeling Dore, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought, but that's his original, and someone's cleaned it up.
Yeah.
That's James Cagney in Ireland. They did an article about him going to a film set.
Yeah, James Cagney.
Yeah.
There it is.
Pictures of James Cagney's movies, and he stuck one
Esquire.
and he stuck one of Bridget Bardot.
So this is kind of like a precursor to his work with Will Elder or Little Annie Fanny. So you can see that now he's getting used to the idea of putting out, a crowd of people.
Except this.
See, the thing with Kurtzman, this is his final work. It remains very, very true to the initial layout. So all of his problems are solved with the energy that he
the penny arcade
characteristically puts in. Yeah, brilliant.
And this is orgy scene.
Yeah.
Looks like Archie and his.
Yeah.
There's the symbol. Beatles.
Yeah, it's a send up of Archie. Delta, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't remember.
The Executive's comic book. The Executive's comic book. Not approved comics, see? So everything is a gag. Goodman Beaver is the name of the character. Executive's comic book from 1962. McFadden Books. Goodman meets S. Perman Splash. So this is Will Elder's work. So Will Elder gave a lot of detail to Eisner's work without detracting too much of the energy. That's why they worked so well together.
Yeah.
So
well, there's his design for the cover.
Yeah.
It's
Zero Mostel.
Kovacs. Yeah, Ernie Kovacs.
Oh no, Sid Caesar.
Yeah, but that's Ernie Kovacs.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is of the time, 1961. This is obviously a man's magazine, so it has a lot of cars and stories and stuff.
Well, like the big fight,
humor, yeah.
Funny things of old comic strips and monkeys and watercolor.
Yeah. So great stuff.
Well,
even with photography, when a cartoonist gets a handle on the photo shoot, this is what happens. Amazing.
Well, he's obviously...
This is what happens, folks. Yeah. Amazing.
He's obviously one of those rare things, an art director and cartoonist who work hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because most cartoonists don't like art directors. They think they're the...
No, but when a cartoonist becomes an art director or an editor, he goes all out. It's an amazing escape of ideas. Incredible stuff. I mean, for a magazine cover, it's amazing. So rich, full of ideas.
You're full of ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd move your hand away from that.
This is exploring Little Annie Fanny, of course, which is in Playboy magazine. And he worked with
Will Elder.
Yep.
And that's Jack Davis.
Yep. So we're getting into the Little Annie Fanny era. And there she is. Playboy's Little Annie Fanny.
The cover looks a little bit different.
Yeah. So the idea behind this is, what would you say? It's an exploration of the comics genre.
Yeah.
So everything in Little Annie Fanny, it's a satire on popular culture.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They have a complete
typically characterized by these splash pages, which have a lot of story, a lot of characters, and
perfect collaborators.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's probably the only bloke who could keep up with him, actually.
Well, he adds the detail to his layouts without detracting any of the energy. That's the reason why they work so well together.
Yeah.
Okay, so and there's a lot of little energetic anecdotes and stories and little sidelines and things in the background that you can enjoy.
And there's Harvey putting out the trash.
Yeah. Kurtzman Suburbia. This is a breakdown on the way that they work with Little Annie Fanny. Typically he would do a layout which is more explanatory than he'd normally do. But of course he's working with the great Will Elder. So he'd do some layout in colour, he'd colorise it, some quick colour ideas, and a little bit of cleanup, putting in the dialogue, and of course, continuing. I wonder who would do that. Who would do?
Well, that'd be Elder.
That would be Elder as well.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of sharper cleanup, and then that's the finished page. So if you compare it to the energy of the first page, there's very little lost. It's very little lost.
Dracula, his cousins.
Yeah. I mean, this is
bored out
look
of
at the
it.
double takes on here. It's right out of Hotel Transylvania. Yeah. Well, that was a joke used in Fearless Vampire Killers.
Well,
This is 1974.
yeah, well, which came first? That's very funny. The girl's so bored out of her brain.
Yeah.
What's women? Yeah, do all that.
But if you love the energy of We're Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or Hotel Transylvania, you'll love Harvey Kurtzman because it's almost like those films are a homage to his beautiful energy and love of cartoon.
I've got that.
Beautiful. Illustrated Harvey Kurtzman Index. This book is incredible. It's very, very full of detail, on the genesis of a lot of the cartoons and the genius of the man behind,
From art to zap.
Yeah. Harvey Kurtzman, the Harvey Awards. So, fantastic. I would hazard to say that this book is a must in any serious cartoonist library. And again, if you love, as I do, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or Hotel Transylvania, or even some of the older cartoons like Milton the Monster, you'll love Harvey Kurtzman. The Art of Harvey Kurtzman, the mad genius of comics. That's all from me, Franz Kandor, and
it's Jim Bridges, and I'll give it 5 thought balloons.
fantastic. All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.